Hi, welcome to Piano with Georgia. I'm Georgia, and in today's lesson, lesson number 4, we are going to play with all 10 fingers, stay relaxed while we do it, and learn a melody by Beethoven. So hop on your bench and let's get started. And as we get started, let's check your posture. Make sure you're sitting forward on your bench or your chair. Make sure as you flop your hands on your keyboard that your forearms are nice and level or slightly downhill. And finally, make sure you're sitting far enough away. Your elbows should be slightly in front of your torso. No Frankenstein, no T-Rex. And now let's have a quick finger number review. Remember, there's 2 ways to do this to challenge yourself. First way, just a nice easy review. Put your hands together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second way, take your hands apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Third way, mix it up. Finger 2s, finger 5s, finger 1s, finger 3s, finger 4s. Do this a lot, anytime, anywhere. And now we're going to relax your hands and your arms. So take your hands, wiggle them at your sides, get them nice and spaghetti floppy, and lift them up to the piano and flop them on the keys. If a note plays, that's fine. That's just gravity doing its job. So again, floppy arms, lift, floppy arms, lift. Yes. And now the second part of relaxing is actually trying to use that gravity to make some sounds. So I want you to actually this time try to flop. Don't pull back at all. And you should have some clusters of sound. Here we go. Fall. Sounds a little like a horror movie, I know, but trust me, it's good training. Let's do it again. Floppy. Let's do it again. Floppy, fall, let gravity do its job. And now let's do some relaxed falls with a bit more control. We're going to fall on some single notes. As we do this, there's something new I want you to watch out for. I want you to watch for this first knuckle joint that's closest to your fingernail on your hand. And as you fall on it, notice if your knuckle bends in like this, or if it stays out like this. What we want is for our knuckle to stay out like this. So that I call a strong knuckle. And you can actually do this as a little exercise away from the piano also, where you simply take your hand and intentionally bend that first knuckle joint back and then push it out. Bend it in, push it out. Bend it in, push it out. And of course, we have 2 hands. Bend it in, push it out. Bend it in, push it out. Now, some people have very, very flexible first knuckle joints, and you may find it very hard to play anything or even push on a table or your other finger and have it not fall in. Over time, this will get stronger, I promise. Now let's put these strong knuckles into action with our relaxed hands and our relaxed arms and our drop. Lots of combining. I'm going to use finger 2. Aim for my C. You'll notice I'm kind of hovering above it right now. And as I fall, I'm going to try to keep that knuckle joint strong. But if it bends, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to fix it. Okay, hovering over a C, finger 2, and I'm ready to let go and let gravity do its work. Here we are. Let's do that about 3 more times. You should not feel like you're pushing. You should feel like you're falling and landing. Once you've played the note on the piano, it does nothing except fade. So don't keep pushing. That is a waste of energy. And now it's time to actually do some dropping. We want to make sure we get all 10 fingers involved. So go in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with both hands. Say specific note you want to land on. That way you're reviewing your alphabet letters as well. And let's do this. Right hand, I'm going to use finger 1 and I'm going to land on a D. Here we go. Thumb on D. Now do notice my thumb is not worried about a strong knuckle because it lands on its side. That's what we want. Finger 2, I'm going to aim for an F. Finger 3, I'm aiming for a B. Finger 4, I'm aiming for an E. Finger 5, I'm going to aim for an A. Remember, no pushing, let gravity do its work. And now let's do left hand. Left hand, let's start with finger 1. I'm going to aim for a D, and here I go. No pushing, I'm relaxed and laying there, and I'm playing my thumb on its side. Finger 2, I'm going to aim for a B. Finger 3, I'm going to aim for a G. Hover and fall. Finger 4, I'm going to aim for an A. Hover, fall. Finger 5, finally your turn. I'm going to aim for an E. And that takes care of our warm-up, some technique exercises, thinking about our hands, and a review. On to our new concept, playing with all 10 fingers. This is a complete invitation for tension. If you see this finger 5 lift up like that, that is your hand sending you a message that you are tense. Relax. We're going to totally use that drop lift that we just did in our technique exercise. And what we're going to do is we're going to drop and lift off of every finger, one at a time, in a row. As we set up our hand to do this, we are going to set up in as perfect a world as we can possibly have. When you're playing music, you can't be in a perfect world situation, but right now we can. So let's take advantage of that. Take your arm and just kind of flop it on the piano. You're going to watch for 3 lines on your hand. There's an outside alignment where you can go from your elbow down to your finger 5, and you'll see that straight line along my wrist. That means you are set up for a very strong finger 5. When I switch the other way, now my thumb and my wrist are in a very nice straight line. This is a great, strong way of playing for my thumb. Again, we want to be a little more neutral, and we're going to rotate your hand so the straight line is going more across the top and straight down to finger 3. So this is our nice neutral position, and now let's play. Finger 1's going to start us, and our wrist is going to do a lot of this work for us to allow gravity to help us out. Lift your wrist, and now fall on finger 1. Lift, fall on finger 2. Lift, fall on finger 3. Lift, fall on finger 4. Lift, fall on finger 5. And there you go. You've played 5 notes in a row with a relaxed hand. Well done. Let's do our left hand. Same alignment issues. Take your arm, flop it around, relaxed hand, flop it on the piano. Check to see if your wrist is neutral. Is your line going with finger 5? Is your line going with finger 1? Or is it going straight down your hand all the way to finger 3? Finger 1, lift that wrist and get ready to fall. Lift, fall on finger 2. Lift, fall on finger 3. Lift, fall on finger 4. Lift, fall on finger 5. You've done it! You've used all 10 fingers of your hands playing 5 notes in a row on the instrument. Well done! If that feels very easy to you, then let's move on and give you some ideas to explore that will challenge your hands. If at any time you experiment with these challenges and you have tension in your hand, or finger 5 starts to go up, stop, go back, slow down, stay relaxed. Challenge number 1, dropping on one note, lifting on the next note. So what we're going to do is we're going to feel that transfer of weight from one note to another. we're going to do fingers 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, and then we're going to go backwards, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. We're going to use every possible combination of 2 consecutive fingers on your hand with 2 consecutive notes on the piano. So flop your hand up on the piano and let's do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my wrist, preparing for my drop. I drop on C, I lift, and I move forward to transfer my weight to finger 2 on D. Let me do that again. Drop on C, lift on D. Notice the way the weight transfers from my thumb to my 2. As I lift, I roll forward slightly to make that happen. And now let's just go through all the different combinations with your hand. Here we go. Reset, fingers 2 to 3. Reset, neutral hand. We're going to do fingers 3 to 4. Get ready. Reset, relax your hand, finger 4 to 5. Reset, relax your hand, fingers 5 to 4, and we're just going to go straight down. Well done! Now let's do it with our left hand. Left hand, flop up in whatever alignment your hand kind of naturally wants to go to. You can bounce it around like I'm doing a few times to just get it really nice and set. And now I'm going to go 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, just like I did with my right hand. Focus on the transfer of the weight and how when you're lifting, you can kind of roll a little forward, and that will help finger 2 to play with very little effort. Just really comfortable using gravity. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, reset. 2 to 3, reset. 3 to 4, reset. 4 to 5. Reset. Now go the other way. And now you've done that with your left hand. Time to move on to challenge number 2. Challenge number 2 is all about not losing contact with the keys. Your goal is to drop lift on each note and not have your fingertip leave the key. Finger 1. Finger 2. Finger 3. You'll notice this is a much smaller motion. Finger 4. Finger 5. Same thing with left hand. Flop, be neutral. Doesn't matter what notes you're on. Go. And now challenge number 3. We are going to use gravity to produce 3 different volumes on the same note. We're going to use those touches you just did. We're going to stay super close and you'll notice your sound is very soft. We're going to get a little bigger and you'll notice your sound's a little louder. Then we're going to fall from as high as you can safely aim and you're going to notice gravity makes a much louder sound. And here we go. Super close. Finger 1. Medium, finger 1. High, finger 1. If a few other notes happen to play like mine did, totally fine. Moving on, finger 2. Close. Medium. As high as you can. Finger 3. Close. Medium. High. Finger 4, close, medium, high. Finger 5, close, medium, high. Whoops, did you notice I hit a different note? Totally okay. Now I want you to notice the difference between falling and pushing. If any of that you felt like you were tight and you were shoving, that's the wrong motion. Fall. Let gravity do as much of the work as you can. Now it's time for left hand. Left hand, we're going to do these 3 motions: close, medium, and then fall from high. Here we go. Medium, fall from high. Finger 2, stay close, medium, high. Finger 3, close, medium, high. Finger 4, close, medium, high. Finger 5, close, medium, high. And there you go. All challenges are done for the lesson. Now it's time to make some music, my favorite part. So what we're going to do is we're going to let one hand explore all 5 fingers while we keep the other hand simple. Just makes it physically easier to explore without getting frustrated and feeling like things are falling apart. But definitely play both at the same time. Here we go. Idea number 1. Right hand and left hand, we're going to set up on the same 5 notes. So right hand, I'm going to aim my thumb on C, and left hand, I'm going to aim finger 5 on C. So I've kind of got this nice like C, D, E, F, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup. This is a very common setup for many, many songs, so it's a good one to kind of get to know. Now, right hand, I'm just going to play my 5-finger melodies. I'm going to zigzag up, zigzag down. Do anything you want with these 5 fingers, but left hand, all you're going to do is you're going to play finger 5 on C. Let's try it. Don't make your melody very long necessarily. Shorter melodies, pattern-oriented melodies, tend to sound more catchy. Now I'm going to fall with my left hand using 2 different sounds. Finger 1, finger 5. Here I go. Left hand, you're going to get started. Now right hand, you're going to join, and I'm just going to do some 3-note melodies. That sounded kind of cool. Now, if you want it to be more challenging, left hand can be more rhythmically active. Something like that. Or maybe what you do down here with the non-melody hand is called accompaniment. And that just means a pattern that repeats over and over and over that is interesting, provides some harmony, but doesn't distract from your melody, your singer. So now left hand, I'm just going to do a little rocking motion. And right hand, I'm going to make a melody. Now this is much harder because I've got 2 hands doing very different things. One thing you can notice that I did very intentionally is I made my right hand melody go slower. And now it's time to switch it up. Right hand, you need to do the accompaniment part or the background. Left hand, you need to be the melody because there's plenty of awesome music out there that has melody in the left hand. My first idea for right hand is I'm just going to play my thumb. And left hand, I'm going to add melody. Here we go. Second idea, my right hand is going to play 2 notes. I'm going to play 1 and 5 because those usually feel really good. Finally, I'm going to add a little accompaniment pattern to my right hand. I'm going to do maybe like a 1, 2, 3, or I could do 1, 3, 5, or I could just go 1, 5. So many choices. Okay, here we go. Another thing you can do before we switch gears and learn some Beethoven is you can move your hands to start on different notes. C is one of my favorites, with my C is the lowest note for right hand thumb, left hand 5. Another one, just jump down 2 notes and have right hand on A with the thumb, left hand on A with finger 5, your pinky. So again, now you're covering the same alphabet letters A, B, C, D, E, and just notice how the sound changes. Do some of those same little ideas. One other idea, switch your pattern around to different positions, different notes on the piano. So maybe you start with hands on C, D, E, F, G, then move your hands to A, B, C, D, E. So I'm going to start my song in C. Now I'm going to move to A. I did the same pattern with my fingers, so that just creates a connection. When I'm changing the position, I want to create a sound that you're familiar with. You will discover a wide variety of sounds. You can also throw in some pedal to kind of just connect. You cannot be wrong as you do this. This is called improvising, and it means making stuff up as you go along. Just explore, have a really great time. Before we conclude our lesson, we are going to play a piece of music by a composer who isn't you. So far, we've done a lot of improvising, a lot of exploring with sounds, but we've never actually had you play a piece of music written by a famous composer. So today's the day. Enter Beethoven. We are going to play the theme from the Ninth Symphony called Ode to Joy. Now, as we learn music by other composers, one thing that is significantly different than playing is the only way a composer can communicate us to us is how they have communicated the sounds to us. Beethoven lived hundreds of years ago. He lived in the 1800s. And so the only reason his music survives is because he wrote it down. Gradually, we will learn how to read music, and today's your first little introduction into that. I'm not going to go full on into reading music, don't worry. We're just going to use some written down helpful hints, guidelines to help you play it. So what you are now seeing before you is the way that I wrote down the Ode to Joy theme by Ludwig van Beethoven, but I used finger numbers and I used some colors to kind of guide us along a little bit. So if you look at the blue, that is your right hand. If you're looking at the orange, that is your left hand. And if you've already guessed it, yes, those are finger numbers. This is called a finger number song. And what it does is it tells you what fingers to play when, and you end up creating a melody. Another thing you will commonly see in many books is a hand position. This is a picture of the piano that shows you simply where to put your hands. Now, here's my finger number map. What we're going to do, we're going to look at just the right hand, and this song, I will give you the instructions to do it, but we won't do the whole thing in the lesson today. We're just going to talk about the process. First of all, you just want to read along just like you're reading words in a book, following along. 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2. That is the way our melody goes. And follow along with those finger numbers. Now, before you even play it on the piano, maybe you just tap your fingers, and that would go something like this. 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2. Now you will notice that I'm just following the fingers that are in the blue. That's my right hand. Opening the piano, I'm going to set my right hand up with my thumb on C. I'm going to start with finger 3, which is on E, and we're going to try this. Slower will be easier, faster will be harder. Here we go. And that is the first part of the song. Now, let me demonstrate left hand for you. Again, I set up with my hand position C, D, E, F, G with finger 5 on C, and it should sound exactly the same. Follow along with the numbers that are in orange. 1, 2, here we go. 3, using that drop lift to keep your hand really relaxed. And now, ways to challenge yourself with Ode to Joy. First thing you can do is you can set up both hands on C, D, E, F, G, and you can play them at the same time. Now that's a big challenge, so take it easy. Second thing you can do to challenge yourself is listen to your sound. I'm just going to demonstrate this with right hand. I've been playing kind of with that nice easy drop lift. You could experiment with staying smooth. That gives you a little exploration into what it is to stay touching the keys when you're playing. You could also try that with left hand. Your final challenge would be to go faster. Faster will be harder because you don't have as much time to think, so try it faster. And that time I played the whole song for you. So good luck. Explore Ode to Joy by Beethoven, and we will go through that a little bit more detail in the next lesson too. So if you need more help, guidance, I'm here for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this lesson has given you new ideas to do new things with your piano playing. And if you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching.